Okay, what is up, guys? It is Just Cause here with a review video here. Major debate we're looking at today. One of the debates was what happened during the clash this weekend, or I should say last Sunday, of the Jimmy Johnson Paul Menard incident. We are going to debunk this. See whose fault it really is. Did Menard come down? Did Johnson come up? I don't know. We're about to see here. First, we're gonna look at the video again. Um, all credit goes to NASCAR for this video. All credit goes to them. So let's do it. Let's see this thing right here. Okay, so that is basically the crash that happened during the clash last weekend. People are a lot of blaming it. It's Johnson's fault here. As you see, he pulls out here, gets a side draft. Then there's the contact. But did Menard come down? Did Johnson come up? We're going to debunk that today. As there's poor Paul Menard in the wall, just sliding there all by himself. He's not even a part of this pack. So we're gonna pause that. We're gonna go look at some images here. I got a lot of images here. Okay. Know where it is. Okay, so the images we will be looking at is this first image right here. Right here. This is the first image we're gonna be looking at. This was before Johnson pulled out, but as you can see here, Johnson is about to pull out. Here, that would be the first image. By the way, all this is going to be on Kurt Busch's onboard because the first angle does not really give us a great view of what happened. So, to be honest, I can't debunk it from that one camera angle. So we're going to be using Kurt Busch's onboard here. So there's the first image we're going to pull up. The second image is really no, I don't want this thing. Flash number 2 picture. Here is when Johnson pulls out to get the side draft. Image number 3 is when he starts, is this one right here. You might be asking yourself, this doesn't look any different. Here's the thing. He's actually going down right here, so I'll be explaining that later. Also, the final image, the contact, we will be looking at. Okay. First, we're gonna look at the first image here. Sort of clash. This is what we're gonna be looking at today. Actually, hold on. Can I make a better diagram of this? That diagram is shit. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is the diagram of basically the ways we're going to debunk this. Of course, you see Johnson's pulling out right here. That's what the yellow arrow is clearly indicating. Now, what is this line right here? What is this yellow line? The way we're going to be telling if whose fault it is, there is shading. If you don't know, there is a certain shade on the track. The After it rains, there's usually a shade on a track, different colors. It's light gray, darker gray. You know. So this is a very darker gray than this one. If you can't really tell, but there is. There's a nice shading here. We're going to keep an eye on that here. But you see clearly Johnson is pulling out here. Menard does not change. He's very tight up against the wall, trying to keep his lead. I'm going to go to image number 2. Image number 2. Okay, so here's image number 2. Jimmy Johnson, again, we're going for that shade right here. Looks like Johnson makes his first side draft right here. He makes 2 side drafts. This one right here. Menard is slightly coming down here. If you can't tell the last photo, more of his bumper, like I would say, like about right here, about, you know, right about, I would say past that 21 that's on the right side of the rear bumper. You take that, and that's how much of the bumper was. You see he's kind of moving away a little bit from the wall here. He's not really closely tight with it anymore. That sounds wrong. We're going to act like I didn't say that. As you can see, Johnson's making the side draft. Menard is starting to come down a little bit. He's got a little room between him and the wall. Now, how do I tell that he's close to the wall? 1, the shade. Also, I made this thing right here. The red outline right here, I outlined the bumper and the distance between the bumper and the wall. This is this is when Johnson's first side draft, okay? Okay. I'm gonna pull up the first one. And this one, this picture right here is from Johnson pulling out. See how close he is from the wall? Look at the diagram here. Look how close he is to the wall here. In this one, then this one. He is starting to move away. There is a big gap right there. Contest to this little gap right here in the image. So this is indicating Menard is starting to come down. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Next photo. Here, this is the photo I was talking about. You guys are gonna be asking, wait, it doesn't even look like he moved that much. Like, what the hell? We're gonna remove this. Yes. Okay, as you can see, you're gonna ask yourself, he doesn't look like he's moved anywhere. He's actually had. Here. There's more room. If you didn't see the image before, when he side draft, he didn't really give much room. He is starting to come down. He's trying to get the run and then come back up the side draft. Menard is still coming down. If you look by the shading, this line I have for the shade, because this is a darker shade than this, and then, you know, he is actually still coming down at this point. He is trying to block, okay? And if I was Menard here, I would block too, but he is starting to come down. Let's look at the image from him and how many feet against the wall or something here. Did I make a one for this one? No. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, I'm stupid. Yeah, but it's clearly showing he is coming down. Johnson's coming down, Menard is coming down. Here in this image. The yellow line, again, is right here across his bumper. It's not even part of the bottom of his rear bumper. Plus, it looks like he's not really that close to the wall than he was. So, Menard is coming down at this point. By this view right here. And then for the last view, the contact right here. The contact, people are saying the right rear was what the caused the told the whole story. I saw that on Instagram. But to be honest, I think the rear bumper damage the right rear damage came right here when he made contact with Menard or whatever. But you know, so what is the final verdict here on this case? Did Menard come down? Did Johnson come up? It's a nice question. By the evidence I have here showing as there's the contact, both cars are coming down at this point, you know, you might as well just say Menard is coming down, guys. So Menard is coming down, Johnson's coming up. I don't feel like it's Johnson's full fault. I feel like, yeah, blame should be going on Johnson a little bit. But Menard also has a part in this. I say Paul Menard has some fault. He was coming down. Johnson was coming up the side draft. And, you know, and it caused the big one. Okay? So by my verdict, I'm going to give my verdict here. I'm going to put 30 on Johnson. I'm putting 35 on Johnson. 35% of fault goes to Johnson. Okay? 35% goes to Johnson. 30 goes to Menard. Menard is coming down by the way his car wasn't closely tight to the wall than what you would need it to be, like, during during the single file run, you know, he was so tight against the wall. You're supposed to give a little bit of room, but not a lot. You could definitely tell he was coming down by how much room he was giving by the wall when Johnson was pulling out. The rest of the fault, let's see, that's 65% on drivers. The other 35, I'm going to put on this dang aero package and how loose the cars are and how the air and side drafting works, putting pressure on the spoiler, making cars loose. That's where the rest of the blame is going to go. Let's hopefully the 2019 package does not end up this way. We can only hope at this point, but yeah. All this footage goes to NASCAR. Credit goes to them. So, and then there was also another thing I wanted to bring up. People are saying Johnson went below the yellow line to advance his position. Okay, so we're gonna debunk that real quick. Here's the picture of when he passes Menard here. He is officially past Menard. He is past Menard. He has overtaken the position. Okay? And he's not really underneath the yellow line. Okay? He's not. Okay? Did I make the other day? Why did I bring up this image? I should have brought up the other one. Here we go. I have a yellow line right here showing the double yellow line is. Johnson's car is nowhere underneath the yellow line until about 2 seconds later, okay? Okay, so technically right here he's advanced his position. Now, how do I know he's advanced his position? One, you have to consider the fact Menard is sideways, he's starting to go sideways. Okay, you gotta remember that fact. He is starting to spin out, and he is starting to spin out. He's basically going up towards the rest of the field. So you gotta consider that fact. Plus, also, if I pull up, I think I had another photo in here. Plus, if you also bring up here, it shows that Johnson, this is basically the same image, just on Kurt Busch's point of view. And as you can see, Menard is starting to go sideways. Johnson is ahead at this point in time. So before you go in the comments and go ranting and say, "Oh, but Johnson went over the yellow line." Technically, if he did go underneath the yellow line to advance his position against Menard, he is technically forced. Okay, the car is spinning. The car is forcing him to go low. Okay, like, come on, guys. You were really gonna get into this? Like, come on. He's forced. Okay, he is forced. Okay. So, to be honest here, we shouldn't even talk about whether or not he went underneath the yellow line. It's just so stupid. Y'all are just, like, fucking pissed off just because Paul Menard didn't win the damn race. Bet you Paul Menard did the exact same thing. Everybody would be freaking jumping onto the ceiling. Yeah, but this is the same image, just a different angle. It clearly shows Johnson is ahead before he goes underneath the yellow line, so don't give me the yellow line bullshit in the comments, okay? And that will be it for the video. This is the debunked of the crash from the Clash. I just did this because I felt like people shouldn't put all the blame on Johnson, and because I've seen the shit on Instagram and I'm not really fond of it. So if you like this video, if it helped you with any Paul Menard debate or the crash debate, or if you just enjoyed it in general, go ahead, leave a like, comment, comment or whatever. It will put 1 in chat if you think it's Menard's fault still. If you think it's Johnson's fault still, put a 2 in the chat. And if you like bagels, put a bagel in the chat. Okay, thank y'all for watching. This is JCG, signing off. Peace.